Joined now by the management of Biocon Biologics. We have Mr. Shreehas Tambe, who is the CEO and MD of the company, joining us on the show. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Biocon Biologics has actually achieved a significant market share of about 20% in the United States. If you could help us understand what are the key factors that contributed to this strong performance for your company, and actually how do you foresee maintaining this growth or the market share moving this forward?
We've really had a very, very strong showing this quarter. And if you look at the last 6 quarters or so, we've consistently been performing very well, both in North America as well as in Europe and several key emerging markets. But specifically, since you asked about North America, let me tell you, we've got two products in the oncology space, and both of them have performed exceedingly well, where we see market shares over 20%. So over a fifth of the market is Biocon Biologics today for the two of our products that are in the oncology space. And even in the insulin glargine product that we've got in the market, we're close to a fifth of the US insulin market, which is very, very substantial at this point in time. One of the key reasons for this is we've got a very, very strong, dedicated commercial front end that we acquired as a part of the acquisition that we went through in November of 22. And that strong commercial engine is really helping us drive the business in North America. The focus that we've been able to bring into that region allows us to gain leadership positions in some of the products that we've now commercialized in this particular market.
Also, sir, if you could take us through the business contribution coming in from various markets like the US, Europe, and the emerging markets.
We are very, evenly balanced overall in terms of how our geographic split of products has been. We've got, of course, the US and North America overall contributes a little larger share than the other geographies, which is roughly around 40%. Europe would come in roughly around that 32%, and emerging market just under 30%. So I would say we have a pretty diverse business in terms of where we are present. There's no specific exposure in any one geography. US, of course, contributes to a large part, but we have a very well diversified business in over 120 countries.
Right. Having said that, then, Mr. Tambe, given that we've seen growth in the US markets and expansion in the rest of the geographies, can we expect the company to have a better H2 performance when you compare it to H1?
There's always this piece whether we can do more and do better. But let me just point out to your viewers that the first half of the financial year FY25 has been as per our expectation. It has done exceedingly well for us, where for the quarter that just went by, on a like-for-like basis, we've grown 19% in revenues with a very strong focus on margins. Our EBITDA margins are very strong. Our reported EBITDAs are strong. We are still in the mid 20s, which is what we had guided in the past. So the first half of the year, we had set ourselves up with more than $500 million in sales, which is a very strong showing, I would say, in terms of rupee crores. It's at 4,265 crores for the first half of the year. Second half of the year, of course, continues to be strong in the way we have performed. I wouldn't want to provide a guidance, but I can tell you that our products are well established, and we continue to grow market shares in several parts of the world. So we should continue to expect growth as we go forward into the remaining part of the fiscal year.
Sir, recently you also refinanced some of your old debt via USD bonds. Could you share with us what could be the financial savings that could come in post this debt structuring that the company has done?
The strategic financing or the refinancing that we did of our acquisition debt was very critical because it has allowed us to bring in more liquidity into the business. It has allowed us to effectively manage to focus on business rather than look at how we were to structure and repay debt. So a large part of this has been addressed, given that we've now been able to successfully secure a long-term US dollar bond, and which is now listed and being traded on the Singapore Stock Exchange successfully. So that's a very strong indicator of the growth story. We have a very diversified pool of investors, many of them global investors, US-based investors to the extent of 50% of our current portfolio, which is a very, very strong sign. It also gives us an indication of the confidence that the global investment pool or the investor pool has in terms of what Biocon Biologics is built as a business and the promise that it holds for the future. So that, I think, really sets the base up fundamentally. In terms of how it helps us on the liquidity terms, is it just frees up a lot of capital for us to focus on growth rather than to focus on repayment. So that really is the liquidity that it brings into the system and focuses management time on growing the business. In terms of the coupon that you specifically asked about, I think we've been able to successfully negotiate a reasonable coupon, which is comparable, if not better, actually, from what we had in the past. And more importantly, we've got better terms.
Right. Actually, going forward, taking that sort of a statement or the question forward, I want to understand. So, with the improvement that we've seen in net debt and the plans for a capital expenditure to a tune of about 90 to 100 million dollars for FY25, what specific debt reduction targets do you foresee or you've set for yourself in the second half of the year then?
Yeah, so two very different questions. One is, of course, we've always talked about the fact that we will focus on the business. The strategic refinancing with the US dollar bond that we've now listed allows us to do that. Having said that, it takes us away from the fact that we had to manage the debt EBITDA covenants on a quarterly basis. So that certainly is going to allow us to focus on the business, like I said before. But to more importantly address the question on leverage, I think there is a concerted effort overall at a group level to see that we bring down leverage. In the past too, I have said that we've never been a company that's been heavily leveraged. Historically, Biocon Group has always been cash positive. So that's not something that historically we've been exposed to. And given that there's been a lot of interest in terms of how we would want to fund and finance our future. It's a matter of time as we will post our progress in terms of how we intend to deleverage the overall debt we've got, and we'll keep you posted as things evolve and develop over the next few months, few quarters.
So the US FDA has classified the Biocon Biologics, a drug substance facility at the Biocon campus in Bengaluru, as a VAI. Could you also provide us with an update on the inspection in the Malaysia plant? By when do you expect to receive the feedback from the US FDA?
We've been working with the US FDA very closely. We, of course, have been looking at the inspections. We had earlier this year a meeting with the leadership at the US FDA, and we expressed our commitment to quality systems, following which we've had 3 inspections. The one that we just talked about in terms of the outcome that they have announced, which is a very favorable and encouraging outcome, where we've got the voluntary action initiated, which basically means that the agency is confident about the quality systems that we've got, the progress that we've shown on the India Bangalore manufacturing site, which manufactures and supplies recombinant human insulin drug substance to the United States. So that is something that certainly is a very positive sign that we take. We do have 2 other inspection outcomes that are awaited. One for the Bangalore site for the drug product and the drug substance facilities, where new products are awaiting approval after that outcome. And also in Malaysia, like you rightly pointed out, and we're looking forward to those outcomes. Of course, we have responded to the observations that we received upon completion of these inspections. And we will, be looking forward to continue engaging with the agency to bring these to satisfactory resolution.
Well, thank you, sir, for joining us and for giving us all those details.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.